Hey, it's Ocean Greyhound here to make a fantasy football video. I'm just going to start a little fantasy football series because I think I'm pretty good at the game or sport or video game or whatever you want to call it. I think I'm pretty good, so made a little presentation here to present my first sort of topic or subtopic you could call it. So I guess we could jump right into the presentation. I'm going to be making these for all 32 teams. So you can just sit back and enjoy, or you can take notes, do whatever you want. Okay, so the first team that I'm going to be going over is my favorite team, the Chicago Bears. I love the Bears. I'm from Chicago, so of course I have to root for the Chicago Bears. And they actually have a good team this year, so they're probably going to have some good fantasy players. So jumping straight into the positional players for the quarterbacks, I highlight all the good players or the players that I think will make an impact on your fantasy team in red. So Jay Cutler is the one player that I think will make a good impact on your team. I am one of the people that loves drafting quarterbacks very late. I don't think that quarterbacks are going to produce you points that are significant among other quarterbacks. I don't think, say, Tom Brady is going to get you a ton of more points than Jay Cutler. So I would love to go with a Jay Cutler. You can snag him in a late round. He can get you some good touchdowns and things like that. Later on, we'll jump into looking at some stats for them. Brian Hoyer, also a decent quarterback last year. He played as a starter last year for a lot of games on the Texans, but ended up being signed by the Bears as a backup quarterback. So in case Jay Cutler goes down, he'd be a great add. Moving on to the running backs, we have Jeremy Langford, who I think would make a outstanding impact on your team. The Bears have a supercharged offensive line this year with Kyle Long coming back as another All-Pro. Jeremy Langford, when he filled in for Matt Forte, when Matt Forte got hurt, he came in and he got great yards. I think he had around 4 yards per carry, and he also picked up on Matt Forte's receiving game and caught a lot of the passes that Jay Cutler threw his way. I think a few games he scored multi-touchdowns, so he'd be a great person to have on your fantasy team, maybe early rounds. Kadeem Carey is a running back that's trying to earn a name for himself. He's been in the league for about 3 years now, always been behind Matt Forte, and now he's behind Jeremy Langford, so if Langford goes down, look for him to try to make a big impact. And Jacquizz Rodgers, of course, is a little utility running back, so I don't think he's going to have that big of an impact on your team, but just in case he does become something like, a little Darren Sproles or something like that, he might be a good add late. Moving on to the receivers now, we have a poor man's Megatron, Alshon Jeffrey, joining Chicago Bears again for another few seasons. Alshon, of course, will get you great yards, great touchdowns, really anything thrown his way he'll catch. He's Jay Cutler's favorite target, so expect him to have an outstanding year. He's probably a top 2 rounds pick. Kevin White hasn't touched the football field ever. He was hurt last year for the entire season. They decided to keep him well rested for the entire season and not play him, but now he's coming on his rookie season. Kevin White is extremely explosive out of West Virginia, so look for him to grab a ton of touchdowns. I don't see him getting many good yards, but I see him grabbing touchdowns, so he might be one of those hit or miss players every single week. Eddie Royal, like about 2 years ago before he joined the Bears on the Chargers, he was getting touchdown after touchdown. However, last year he really faded, so I really don't think he's going to make a great impact. And one player to watch is rookie Daniel Braverman, playing in the slot this year. Picked out of the 7th round, he's already looking great at training camp and looks to actually be sort of a little Wes Welker type of player. Now going on to the tight ends, the Bears do not have any good tight ends that'll get you any points except for Zach Miller, and I made his name as big as I could because Zach Miller is literally Jay Cutler's red zone target. It worked with Martellus Bennett last year. You saw what happened. Zach Miller joined the team last year and blew up in the last few weeks when Martellus Bennett went down. He scored like 5 touchdowns in like 3 weeks. So Zach Miller is going to be a huge red zone target this year, just like Martellus Bennett was last year. So that's going to be it for the first video that I made. Hope to improve these videos and everything, and I'd like you to comment, what team I should do next and stuff like that, because I'm going to overall do all 32 teams. So anyway, just let me know what team I should do next, and comment, rate, subscribe, and, just have a good day. Thank you.